Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. So quite a ways back, Walmart had some pretty cool, super cheap figures. They had some Boley figures that were like $1 or so for some really neat dinosaurs, but then they got rid of them. They had these other cheap knockoff kind of dinosaurs in place of those. They weren't very good, and I don't know whatever happened to the Boley figures in general. Well, it seems like they've made a comeback, but what's weird is now they have a new name and they are no longer by Boley, and they're also kind of mixed in with other stuff that previously was Adventure Force. So I'm thinking that maybe now Adventure Force and Boley have kind of transformed into other names or something. I don't know exactly what happened, but I do know that the figures are now back at Walmart again, and when they came back, they actually came back with some pretty darn cool dragon figures. Now, I don't always collect dragons. I do from time to time if I find some pretty cool stuff for cheap, but these ones are like $1.30 or something like that. Roughly like $1 at Walmart. And when I had, seen all of the new stuff that they were putting out the other day, I had taken a look at the dragons and thought, wow, these are like really highly detailed and quite impressive for what they are. And again, at like $1 something a piece, like $1.30 or so a piece, I definitely wanted to get some of these, maybe for a future repaint project, because I think it would be fun to give these guys a more realistic paint job and really bring out the fine detail. But I also kind of just wanted to show them to you guys so that you know that they are there if it's something you are interested in, and anybody that maybe is getting into painting dinosaurs and stuff. These dragons would be a great way to practice painting because they're super cheap and also sport some impressive detail. So I'm just going to show you guys the dragons. I'm not going to go like super thorough into them. Here we have a quadrupedal dragon, which does have some really nice wings on it. But again, when you look at the figures, look at how impressive, oh, my camera hates greens. Look at how impressive the fine detail of the wings are. Like, that is super nice looking. And obviously we've got like some spiked kind of tips for the wings as you lead down. We've got some very impressive scale detail moving along the back, some nice horns there coming off of the head. Even the fine detail of the head sculpt is super nicely done. The paintwork, of course, for these is super generic. You can basically just see it's like your standard paintwork for generic $1 figures at Walmart or dollar store or something like that. But here is the tag, and this is what the new figures are going by. It's called Zoo Troop, wildly inspired dragons. So that's what you need to look for, I guess, at Walmart. And we have, of course, look, Boley. It does say Boley on it. So obviously that is proof that this is from Boley. But what's weird is they have the Adventure Force dinosaur buckets at Walmart as well, which are also going under the same name, I think, if I recall correctly. So I don't know, kind of weird. But you can see again that this dragon is actually super nicely done. Very cool looking dragon overall. And there are quite a few to get through here, as they have quite the collection of dragons currently. Here's another one with a really neat looking head sculpt to it. This one has a mouth wide open. You've got some nice teeth you can paint in there. This one's a bit of a different style dragon. The other one was more of like a majestic kind of beautiful dragon, whereas this one is like a monstrous beast, which I really like. And I think the colors, even though again super generic looking, but I think the colors they've chosen for this one suit the figure quite nicely, with the darker colors of like the blacks on the underside and the brighter reds and stuff up here. But just like with the others, again, the actual fine detail is fantastic. You've got all sorts of like tears and everything in the skin of the wings. The fine texturing looks super impressive. You've got like an armored sort of scoot-like appearance moving over the back. A pretty cool looking finish here to the tail, which looks like even has maybe like a little chunk taken out of it on purpose over there. And then you can see this one is in a bipedal stance. You've got the fine detail here of the underside as well, looking super nice. So overall, that is an excellent looking, very evil dragon. Almost reminds me of like a dragon you might see in like Willow or something. Kind of like the two-headed, I think, or three-headed dragon. There's like a weird monster in that movie. It's been a long time since I've seen it. But you also have this one, which is again another quadrupedal dragon, this time with the mouth open, again giving you a chance to paint the teeth and the inside of the mouth, which looks pretty nice. The colors of this one, again, super generic, but still pretty cool looking. I think if you just applied like a dark wash, you might even be able to make this one look neat in the colors that it currently is in. You have like some ridges following along the back of the dragon as well. Again, more really nice armored scoots and everything throughout the course of the figure. The nails even look pretty decent overall. But without a doubt, if you actually added some paint application to these things would come to life in spectacular fashion because they are, focus camera, they are so highly detailed that, again, they are just super impressive dragons. There is no question about that. And again, I'm going to try to move a little quicker. I'm going like a little bit too slow, I would say, for the amount of dragons that they have out. Where there also is this one, which has like some purplish colors, but look at the horns on this dragon. That looks super cool. Even the like spikes coming off of the lower jaw. It also has some very impressive teeth on the inside of the mouth of this one as well. Again, in a quadrupedal stance with some spikes on the back of the elbow. The skin texture, absolutely phenomenal on this one as well. Maybe a little bit muted on the back, but I feel like a wash or two could really help to bring out the detail. I'm not a big fan of the satin shine that this one has going on, though, on the back of the figure, but it is what it is. Not the biggest fan of any of the figures as far as the coloration or paint applications go. It's all fairly generic, but they could still look cool, again, if you just applied like some washes to really tie all of the colors together, and then obviously paint the nails. You'd have to paint the insides of the mouths and the eyes and all of that stuff, but that is, again, a super cool dragon. The next one we have here is a pretty cool looking coloration, but this one is a two-headed dragon, so that as well is really neat. Nice to have each and every one of the dragons looking a little bit different from each other. The detailing, again, absolutely epic in every way. Again, the sculpts of these are beyond impressive. They remind me a lot of the recent dinosaur figures that I had reviewed here. There was like a dinosaur sort of cage that was from Joyin that I had reviewed. They kind of have a similar style to the fine detail as those, but obviously you can see the wings super highly detailed up here as well. Again, the inclusion of two heads is really neat for this dragon. Yet again, in a quadrupedal pose. There aren't all that many bipedal dragons, it seems, in this line. But we also have this one, which has a bit of a different look compared to the others as well. Kind of a flatter head, but just as, impressive, I would say. Nice open mouth on this one as well. You've got some pretty cool horns and everything coming off of the back of the head. Again, the very armored sort of look to the skin texture of this one. You've also got some nice small wings for this dragon as well. Overall, I believe every single one of the dragons do have wings, which of course you would want your dragon to have wings. Even the underside, again, look at how good the detail looks down here. But this one I think just has a little bit of a different look compared to a lot of the others, but still a pretty neat looking version. And then we've got maybe the most proud dragon of them all, although his one wing is like, for some reason, warped over like this. So I'm going to have to try to fix that because I can only assume it's not meant to look that way. It looks kind of out of place like that. But again, a very proud looking but very cool looking dragon. This one has the mouth closed. My camera doesn't want to focus. There we go. But you can kind of see like the teeth and everything. They're extended out on the outside of the mouth. Very interesting display of horns and everything up here on the head of this dragon. But overall, this one's a pretty spiky dragon. You can see them kind of coming off of the dragon all over the place. And again, even though they are for kids, they are kind of hard as far as some of the spikes go, but they're still a little bit soft. But like this one right here is fairly sharp, so if you are younger, definitely be careful if you grab some of these. But it is still a pretty neat looking one. Again, you've got like a bluish coloration for the top, kind of like a bluish sort of purplish tone, and then a brown for the underside. But even the underside of the dragon, again, looks really, really nice as far as the fine detail goes. Now, I can't even confirm for sure that these are all of the dragons, but I'm pretty sure. I looked through 2 different Walmarts now, and these, I haven't seen any other different dragons. And this is the final one of the group, which you can see, again, is definitely a little bit different from the others. This one's kind of like sort of standing bipedally, but like with the wings just touching, it kind of looks like. And as well, again, a pretty neat, very different pose for this one compared to some of the others. I kind of like the colors of this one as well. I like the greenish look for the upper side. I think it's just a nice tone of color. This is another one that maybe a wash just being added to it would really spice the figure up and tie everything together. And then, of course, painting out some of the horns, the inside of the mouth, the eyes, all of that stuff. But, like, you can see the teeth and everything. The mouth is open on this one. As per usual, you have all of the standard sort of, like, spikes and everything here on the dragon as you move along. And then, of course, the standard armored skin texture moving along the top. You've got a nice tail and everything here. And again, the wings are super impressive when it comes to the skin texture and fine detail. So again, another gorgeous looking dragon. These are all some of the nicest dragons I think I've ever seen. Now the tag is getting in the way for that one. Let me just go ahead and readjust them here to kind of show them all off. So there you go. Let's move the camera back just a little hair there. There you go. You can see all of the dragons that are at Walmart that I know of currently. Again, there may be one or two others that maybe I didn't see. Maybe somebody snagged them before I had a chance to get them. But they're really neat. They are, again, for only $1, like $1.33. They're really cool looking figures. And if you remember the older Boley dinosaurs that were there, they're also pretty much the same size as those. Like if I bring in a Mattel Raptor, you can see they're roughly of a similar size, kind of, to like a Mattel Raptor, maybe slightly smaller. So that should give you a pretty good idea of the size. And with the new figures arriving at Walmart, they actually have other stuff like some marine life. They have regular barnyard animals and like safari animals and stuff like that. And then, of course, the dinosaurs themselves from Boley are also back at Walmart now. And even the animal figures are really nicely detailed. I actually have a few from the previous Boley figures that had come to Walmart, but here is an owl that they had, and man, the detail on this is fantastic. Again, I grabbed the owl because, first of all, I actually love owls. I think they're really cool birds, and also because I'm going to repaint this one at some point because I just feel like with a sculpt this good, it deserves a more impressive paint job. But there was also this flamingo, which I grabbed as well, and my owl fell over there. But again, the flamingo is just as impressive when it comes to the fine detail as the owl is, and they are also just as impressive as the dragons are. So again, if you happen to be heading to your local Walmart, I would say definitely check out this section. Try to find the like cheaper toy aisle and search out some of the dragons or the animals or whatever, the dinosaurs. Definitely pick some of this stuff up. It's really, really neat. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.